What up, everybody? Welcome to the Controller Throwers Podcast. This is podcast episode number 97 for Wednesday, April 3rd, 2019. What up, everybody? I am Mike. With me, with me. So here's what's going on. I am kind of spending my spring break on vacation a little bit. I am deep in the heart of God's country in Arizona at the Grand Canyon National Park. I've had spotty Wi-Fi at best, so now that I've gotten to a place where I have a good connection, I were able to do a quick episode for our loyal listener. So unfortunately, Kurt and Sherry and Brian are not able to join us, but gracefully stepping in and coming in to save the day, the host of GamerHeads Podcast, my good friend and yours, Mr. Roger. How are you, sir?
Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me on the show. It's awesome. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that you're safe because, I didn't hear from you a while. So.
Yeah. It's you're right to worry. Actually, I think somebody got hurt today.
Oh my god.
2 people fell into the canyon last week.
What?
I don't mean to like start the show off on a really morbid note, but these were people that were really going to the extreme for selfies.
Oh my god.
And at the Grand Canyon there are rails, but there's plenty of spots where there are no rails. And it's like, hey, Darwin says hi,
Oh my god.
and not that, and I don't want to discount somebody, falling to their death in an accident, but
wait,
I mean,
they
there's
died?
Oh yeah. You take a tumble into the canyon, you're gone, man.
I know, but people died when you were there?
There was people saying that somebody fell in. Nobody has said whether or not they died or not, but
oh my god,
it's possible that they did.
Oh
but the 2 people last week that fell in did.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. No,
Taking
it's
selfies?
it's a straight drop, man.
Oh my god.
Yeah, while doing the selfies at the very edge of the cliff. And we were witnessing it too. Like, people were doing that all over. They're like standing on the edge. They're, like making weird poses. They're looking like Wii Fit Trainer out there trying to, standing on the edge of the cliffs. I were just like, oh my gosh, like, it's crazy.
Why? Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know, man.
I don't like heights, so that kind of freaks me out.
So if anyone ever goes to the Grand Canyon, don't go out to the edge. There's a reason why you shouldn't be doing that.
But Aerosmith says, living on the edge.
Okay, so if Aerosmith says it's okay,
then it must be.
It's okay. Yes.
I don't know. People that I don't take advice from, rock stars, probably not a good idea.
Except for Mick Jagger. That man knows how to live.
Except, do you know that he's getting heart surgery this week, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I didn't know how much news you knew because, you're in the middle of nowhere.
I am in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I was not getting... Although there was a Pokestop at the lodge we were staying at, so that's good for Pokemon Go. But no, this is great. So I appreciate you being on the show with me. It's really cool to have GamerHeads and the Controller Throwers together in one episode. It's like the Flintstones meet the Jetsons or something.
It kind of is. And then you have that little green Martian guy that was the crossover character for both of them.
The Great Gazoo?
The Great Gazoo, yeah.
Yeah, I know my Flintstones.
Yeah, that guy was like the thing that tied both shows together, so...
And there we go. So we need a Gazoo on our team.
Yeah, we do.
We need a guy that'll just show up and call us dum-dums. All right. Well, let's jump right into the news. So, one of the biggest news, and you've actually heard this on GamerHeads this week, was that Sega announced the Sega Genesis Mini, set to release on September 19th. It'll cost $79.99. It will come with 40 games. The system will also come with 2 classic Sega controllers, power cable, and an HDMI cable. So the first games announced were Sonic the Hedgehog, Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Toe Jam and Earl, Comic Zone, Altered Beast, and Gunstar Heroes. And other games are set to be announced in the coming months up to release. Now, here's the most important part, is that this system is being handled by M2, who worked on the emulation for Sega games for Sega Ages and Sega 3D Classics Collection. So it's in much better hands than that At Games, who's been making the Sega Genesis flashback systems.
Yeah, well, and I mean, in a lot more expensive because of that too. So, right? I mean, because I think Blue was talking about on our show that she paid. I think I've seen this too. It was like $39.99 for like the flashback systems, which I don't know. I mean, no, it's cool. I don't. How many mini systems do we need? That's the weird thing to me.
Yeah. Well, and the PlayStation one is $39.99 now. Well, just saying.
It wasn't though. It was like, wasn't it like $90?
It was $100.
It was $100.
Yeah,
$100.
$100 when it first came out. I almost started cracking up in here. I'm going to apologize. When I wrote the show notes, I made a typo and I called it Dr. Robotnik's Dr. Robotnik's Man Bean Machine. Man Bean Machine. I forgot the E in mean. So it's the Man Bean Machine. Oh, man.
Well, because Dr. Robotnik makes man beans, you know that.
I'm on mountain time right now. It's almost midnight here by me, so.
Is it? What? Really?
Yeah, it's 11:30.
Oh, I thought your hours behind me, or an hour behind me. It's 11:30.
Wait, did I say 11? Wait, what time? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm 2 hours in the other direction. It's 9:35.
Yeah, but it's 11:35 in real time.
Yeah, it's 11:35 at your time. 9:35 my time. I am all messed up, man. I'm talking about man bean machines. I don't know my times. It is definitely an episode of the Controller Throwers when we mess up this much.
Oh man, this is awesome.
But no, this is. So, are you going to pick it up?
No,
no,
not for $80.
Well, yeah, that is. But you know what? I think the SNES Classic was $80, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have that either?
No, I do have that actually.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, but I have nostalgia for that system. I don't have any nostalgia for the Sega Genesis. Like, to me, 3 buttons is weird. Like, I don't know what to do with 3 buttons. I wouldn't know how to play a system that had 3 buttons. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. So I'm not gonna pick it up just because. I don't have any nostalgia for it. I mean, Castlevania Bloodlines, like, that might be the only reason that I would consider picking this up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the Genesis just wasn't something that was that important to me. So
I hear you. Well, especially, I mean, it's a good point, especially now that you can get like the Sega Genesis Classics collection on the Switch and on the PS4 with online play.
Yeah, like this won't have that. Like, it would be one thing if the one system, I think that if this came out and you had the ability to like hook up to the internet and then buy like future games for really cheap, right? And just like, this is the first 40 games, but you can get like future games as well, like packets, like let's say they do like 5 packs, like games, like 5 of them for like, $5 or $6. Then I would consider it, but I don't know. It's just most of these, I don't want to say most people, but a lot of people, they buy these systems and then they just mod them anyway, and they just load all emulated games on them. So
who would do such a thing? I don't know.
Nobody that
looks around nervously.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool that these are, emulated by M2, but most people are just gonna mod it anyway. So
yeah, no, I mean that's understandable. One of the other things is that the controllers for the system are going to be USB controllers.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could at least use them on the PC if I'm looking to play some classic games. Or oh man, wouldn't it be cool if it was like even compatible with the PS4?
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be weird, but it'd be cool. But yeah, I mean, I get it, but I think one of the funny things that I mentioned on our show, one of the funny things that said in the in the article was easy to connect, and I'm like, really? That's your selling point? Easy to hook up.
You plug it into the TV, and then you turn it on. Not like back when I was a kid, and we had to hook up the Atari system, and you had those 2 things that the little bunny ear things, and you had to unscrew the back of the TV,
the RV switch, RF switch,
the RF switch. Yep.
And then you TV game.
That's right.
TV game.
Why is this in black and white? What is wrong here?
Oh no, just flip it a couple times and it will come back.
Awesome. There is one game I'm really hoping that's on here, is a game called Cyborg Justice. Now, I hope some people that are listening to the show all of a sudden are like, yes, I love that game. In the time when games like Streets of Rage were huge, this one was I think it was a Sega game. I think it was an original Sega, but I could be wrong. But it was a side-scrolling beat 'em up like Streets of Rage, but you played as robots. And every time you defeated a robot, when you were using like a grapple move on them, you could either rip off their arm, rip off their legs, or consume their fuel to bring your energy back up. But if you rip off their arm, you replace your arm with theirs, and it's a different type of weapon. There's like a flamethrower arm, a buzzsaw arm, and like for the legs, there's like tank legs or something like that. So it's like there was customization as you played.
I mean, it sounds cool. I'm not gonna lie, it sounds cool. But I mean, just thinking as a kid, there's a reason my parents never wanted me to play Sega.
Night Trap wasn't one of them.
Yeah, no, Night Trap was a reason. I mean, Night Trap was on the Sega CD, right? Yeah. So I guess it makes
sense.
It was
Cyborg Justice. So,
yeah,
so
I guess.
Wasn't. It turned me into the man I am today. Talking about people falling into canyons and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as an adult, that sounds like a cool game for sure, but it's just not a game that and told you I'm an Earl too. Like, I don't think my parents would have appreciated that game as a kid. You know what I mean? So so it's the reason why I didn't have a Genesis. Really, Genesis was kind of like I had a friend that had a Genesis, and all we played was Altered Beast. That's all we would ever play.
Altered Beast was awesome.
It was awesome. And I loved Altered Beast, but it's just funny just to think about the fact that, my parents, didn't come out and say you're not getting a Sega Genesis, but we never got one. So
right. No, I feel this. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. My parents were the same way about Married with Children.
Yeah.
They were like, you're not allowed to watch that show. So I'm like, okay. So I would go over to my friend's house and I would watch Married with Children.
Did they let you watch Seinfeld though? That's the question. Well, I guess you're a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Seinfeld.
Yes.
Seinfeld we were older for Seinfeld. I guess Married with Children we were younger.
Seinfeld started in '89.
Really? I guess then we were in high school, weren't we?
Well, I wasn't. I was 10 years old at that time.
Oh, okay. Well,
but yeah, I got
close
into
to
it.
High school.
I was close enough. But yeah, no, it's it's funny because I almost sold my Super Nintendo to get a Sega Genesis to get this game called Time Killers. And now that I'm talking about it, maybe I am more sick and twisted than I thought previously. Boy, Mike learns a lot about himself today. But no, Time Killers was a fighting game that came out right around the time of Mortal Kombat, where everything was like graphic and all that other stuff, and like Primal Rage and even Killer Instinct, I think, had fatalities in it.
Yeah.
So it was one of those types of fighting games, but it was cartoonish graphics, but it was really, really bloody. And I played it a lot in the arcades, and it was a Sega Genesis exclusive. I ended up not selling my Super Nintendo to get a Sega Genesis, but I guess I worked out because the game turned out to be just terrible.
Oh.
Like the transition from arcade to Genesis was awful.
Not good. No.
Although it is a harder game to find now. So for those of you retro collectors, it's I think it's worth like $50 in the retro market.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny because those games, it's funny from the 90s because like when we talked about cringy video game commercials on our last episode, we had explained to Christian who was born in 96, we had explained to him what the 90s were like, because like I don't think if you didn't grow up in the 90s, you had no idea like what it was like. I mean, like you had things like Clay Fighter, right? And you had things like like the games you mentioned. You had things like Mortal Kombat. Like, I mean, now it doesn't seem like all that big of a deal, but back then, like, they made a big deal about fatalities, right? And like, feel like nowadays it's like they don't make such a big deal of fatalities anymore. It's just like, oh, it's a good game to play. But man, back then it's like, you can rip their skulls out. Whoa. Like, I mean, like, you know, that was like a big selling point. And Christian was a little confused by that. He's just like, this sounds so weird.
I remember when I first saw that in the arcade. Like the first fatality I saw was the Sub-Zero fatality, and it was like one of the defining gaming moments, like in my life, like in terms of like seeing new and exciting things. Yeah. Like, you know, like Mario 64 obviously being one of them.
Yeah.
You know, one of the most like amazing things. Super Mario World was another one.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah.
You know, and going from games like Pitfall and Keystone Capers to the original Super Mario Brothers, things like that. But seeing my first fatality, that was a memorable experience.
Yeah, but, it's weird. I mean, and obviously some of these games on here I think can stand the test of time. Like you know, like, but I do think that's why. I mean, that's certainly why I think the Jaguar didn't do well, but I think that's why, like, Super Nintendo did do very well, is because those games, like, regardless of, like, your age, a lot of those games, like, just are good if you're old or if you're young, right? Like, some of these games, like they didn't translate very well. Like, when you got older, they just don't translate as well. You know what I mean? Like, people are probably going to shake their fist in anger at me, but Toy Jam and Earl is one of those games that just doesn't translate as an adult as well as it was when I was a teenager.
Right.
You know?
No, it's true. You know, that's those nostalgia goggles, man. They are powerful when it comes to retro games.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, but Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, you know, and Altered Beast, like, those are games that I could sit down and play today. Well, not Altered Beast. I could play what was the other one? Oh, Golden Axe. Golden Axe.
Oh, Golden Axe. I love Golden Axe.
Altered Beast, I kind of like, this is not as good, but I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see. We'll see what the other 30 games are going to be, I guess, on the system too. Like, depending on what those other 30 games are, then I might consider it. But I will say my I don't know how it is with you, but my Super Nintendo Classic like collects dust, and it's kind of sad.
Oh. I used mine during the for the F-Zero challenge.
I tried to, but mine didn't work, so I didn't. Yeah. Because it's collecting dust.
That's why. All right, so we'll let you know more about the Sega Genesis Mini as we hear it.
Yeah. So the other item, or next item, I should say, freebies. So we have the list of the games that are coming out for Games of Gold. And also for your PlayStation Plus and Nintendo Switch. Don't forget about that. So the Xbox games with goals for April 2019 are, for Xbox One, we have Plants vs. Zombies, Garden Warfare 2, The Technomancer, and Outcast, Second Contact. For 360, you are, man, this game's awesome, Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original Battlefront 2, which is such a great game, and Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2. The PlayStation Plus games that you'll be getting, not as probably as memorable as some of the games, the Xbox games are gold, but we got the Surge, which is like a Dark Souls type game, I think. Mm-hmm. And then Conan Exiles, where, yes, you can make your man parts very big, if you'd like.
You're with using the Man Bean Machine.
Yeah, that's right, the Man Bean Machine. And then Nintendo, the NES games on the Switch for the online service, you'll be getting Punch-Out! This is on April the 10th. Punch-Out!, I think that's the Dream... with
Mr. Dream.
Mr. Dream. Super Mario 2, the Lost Levels, and Star Soldier. So yeah, I mean, the other games are already out. I think the Xbox 360, I think Ghost Recon, it doesn't come out until the 15th, but the other ones are out.
Right. Yeah, and I gotta say, I got really excited when I first saw the Xbox ones, because it said, I saw Outcast, but at first I thought it was Outlast.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Outlast is such a great game, but unfortunately that's not the case in this situation. But Star Wars Battlefront 2, that's a good one. No microtransactions on that.
I know, you know, that game, when it first came out, I don't know if you knew this or not, but that was actually a cross-play compatible game. You could play that on your PlayStation 2 with computer players. I was able to play with my brother-in-law when that game first came out. So that was awesome. That was a long time ago. Oh my god.
Huh. And there was another game on the 360, and the name escapes me. It was a first-person shooter that was cross-play with the PC. And I wish I could remember. I have no idea. I'm not even going to try. You know what I'll do is it'll wake me up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat, and I'll end up calling you.
Yeah, you'll be messaging me. I remember the game. I'm like, I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, Mike.
So yeah, some of these, it's the PlayStation Plus games. The people haven't been very happy with Sony as of late for their PlayStation Plus offerings. Although last month was pretty good. Yeah,
last month was pretty good.
But this year's kind of stinking it up.
Well, and they got rid of the PlayStation 3 and Vita games too. So now you would think that they would have thrown in. Although in their defense, these are AAA games. So
yeah.
No,
that's true.
People wanted AAA games, and here you are.
You're gonna take them, and you're gonna like them.
That's right. So, yeah, I honestly, I kind of always wanted to play both of those games, so it's cool that I'll get to play them, I guess. But I don't see myself playing them for very long. So,
right.
What do you think of the NES games?
You know what? I like Punch Out, but without Mike Tyson, it's not the same.
Yeah,
but I know there's nothing they can do about it. But it's okay because I never really make it past this, past the second Soda Popinski or the second Bald Bull fight anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
I beat that game when I was a kid.
Oh, I was able to beat it. I beat Tyson on a TK, or not a TKO, on a decision.
Oh,
but nice. That was only because I had the password to get to get to the last level.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I saw a funny picture this past week. It was on Twitter. Somebody posted, and this little kid was meeting Mike Tyson, and he was dressed up as Little Mac, and he was probably like 6 years old, and he turned around, he had his fist up in the air, and Mike Tyson was just laughing in the background. It was cute.
I saw that picture. That was adorable.
So. Star Soldier? I don't think I've ever played that game.
It's a shmup.
Oh, okay. And then Super Mario 2, the Lost Levels, I heard those really hard, so I'm not sure if I want to play that.
Ridiculously difficult.
Yeah. So those are your freebies this month.
All right. And we have another announcement. So you may have heard this already, but Borderlands 3 was officially announced. I know we've been hearing about it, and people, yes, it's going to be announced at E3. Now it's going to be announced at GDC. Then it's going to be announced here. It's going to be announced at PAX. It's going to be announced, but now it's official. So we actually got a very detailed and actually surprisingly long trailer showing off Borderlands 3. It showed off characters, both old and new. Some look to be your traditional types, your berserker, your hunter, your soldier, etc., with new abilities. Some characters will be entirely new on this. So based on the trailer, it looks like we'll be able to loot different worlds. So we won't be just confined to one planet. Making Borderlands 3, of course, much, much bigger than prior entries. The game also boasts, and this is not a big surprise, 1 billion guns.
Wow.
So, yeah, get that collection ready. The game is scheduled to release on September 13th, 2019.
Yeah, that's cool. It's cool for Borderlands fans. I really haven't played much of the Borderlands games. I'll admit it. I never really got into them. So, but maybe I'll have to go back and start playing some of the old, number 2 probably for sure. So
yeah, I played both Borderlands games, but with both Borderlands games, I played them for a set amount of time, and then I'm I'm done. There's all this looting, and I don't know what to do next. And the games look great. They have amazing sense of humor. The guns are cool and everything, but I got kind of burned out pretty quickly on them, which is why I referred to Borderlands as Borderlands. It's just board spelled a different way. Yeah, that's what I do. So I'm not sure if I'm going to pick this up.
Yeah.
It depends. You know what? It really depends if I can get a good squad together.
Yeah.
And I'm still waiting on my squad for Fallout 76 that said they were going to get the game.
Oh, yeah.
So
I did not promise. That was not me.
I do not place the blame on you, Roger.
Yep.
Good sir. You told me from the very beginning it was a mistake.
Yes, I did. I said, don't buy this game.
You said don't buy it, and I said no. I'm going to buy this game. I got a squad.
Yeah.
And they all abandoned me.
Yeah. Did they even get the game?
Just one of them.
Oh, okay.
But they haven't even opened it yet.
Oh my god, that's funny.
Yeah. So.
Another announcement here. Well, I guess not an announcement, more of a leak, I guess. A Best Buy placeholder search pulled up some interesting information. It's possible that Best Buy accidentally let it slip that 3 games are coming to Nintendo Switch. Now, this is purely humor. This is purely humor. This is purely rumor. And you've heard of these before, but with one addition. Supposedly, Persona 5, Metroid Prime Trilogy, and drumroll, A Link to the Past will be coming to the Switch. We have no idea if this is true, so we'll just have to wait to see. What was the what is the one that they're? No, weren't they remaking A Link to the Past?
They
they
did the sequel. They did the sequel on the 3DS.
Yeah, A Link Between Worlds. Yeah,
but they're doing they did the remake of Link's Awakening.
Oh, Link's Awakening. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah. Okay. I always get those 3 games I get kind of confused all the time, but that's cool. I mean, I think Link to the Past you probably could buy on a 3DS really cheap right now, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm. And on the Wii U.
I think Metroid Prime Trilogy, while I have that on the Wii, and I honestly just recently bought it probably like 2 months ago, the metal box of it. So, but I would kind of buy it again.
Hey, you and me both, man. You and me both. I would absolutely pick that up.
I know.
It's this Link to the Past rumor is really interesting. And it's more than just a rumor. It's not like, like somebody's GeoCities page pulled up a rumor, made something up,
Yeah, GeoCities.
Someone's Angel Fire page.
Yeah, I was just going to say Angel Fire was the other one that I remember. Yeah, exactly.
This is like, and I'm assuming if they're putting it in their system, I don't think it would be a placeholder for like a digital copy of the original, because it just seems odd that they would just show just one game as, oh, you can pay $7 for this game.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it might actually be like a legit game, like a full on game. Yeah. What I'm thinking and what I'm hoping, and this goes back to the GamerHeads episode where we talked about our remakes worth the price. Well, that was one of our hot topics, is I would like to see A Link to the Past remake and Link's Awakening remake in the same art style in one package.
That would be cool. I would totally go down. I would buy that. Yeah, I would totally be down with that.
Yeah, that would make that whole idea of like, well, I paid $30 for Link's Awakening when it first came out, so why should I pay $60 for it now? You know, it kind of makes that whole, it's like, oh, well, I'm getting Link's Awakening and Link to the Past remade with this new art style on one cart. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Sign me up.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, and Persona 5, I think that's like Persona 5S or something like that, right? Is there like a special? Mm-hmm. I don't understand how that all works, but yeah, I mean, if they're actually having placeholders, kind of tells me that they're planning for these soon, I would say.
Yeah, and it holds a little bit more weight than like we said earlier, just like some random website that's trying to get that's trying to get hits.
Yeah. Does that how it works? Could we do that?
Yeah, we could throw whatever we want as long as we could say sources. Yeah. According to sources. As long as you begin an article with according to sources, you can say anything you want.
Some people say.
Yeah. and then you see here's how to effectively get a good rumor and not have to be held accountable for spreading lies. You start the article with according to sources, and you end it with, we reached out to blank company for comment, and have yet to hear a reply.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they reply and they're like, yeah, that's not true at all. Like, where did you get that?
Yeah, and then we just post that as like a blog post or something.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
exactly.
by the way, that's totally wrong.
It turns out that wasn't true.
And that's one thing I've always wanted. That's one thing I've always wondered is that there's so many of these sites that put out all these rumors that end up not being true, but none of them get called to the table for it because there's always like new news and new rumors that go out. Like
exactly.
I would like to somebody to just like I said, call these people out. Like, hey, like whoever that wrote this article, this turned out to be a complete lie. So why are you lying in order to get hits?
Yeah.
I would. I don't know.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because there are people that do call out fake news, but not in the video game world. So
right.
I don't know.
The other thing I wanted to point out about this news is that I'm wondering if we'll get a Nintendo Direct within the next 2 weeks. And the only reason I say that because we had two Nintendo Directs in the past month, the Nindies Direct and the regular Nintendo Direct, but we're coming up on Reggie's last day.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's like the 14th
April,
or the 12th
right?
or something.
Yeah, it's sometime in April. You're right. It's gonna.
So
you would think you would have something.
Yeah, I think they would, if not some like farewell message, but like Reggie's like last Direct where he turns the reins over to Doug Bowser.
Yeah,
and they have some announcements. That's right around the same time that Joker from Persona is going to hit hit Smash, and I would imagine right after they release Joker, then they're going to announce the next character.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know.
So,
hopefully we hear something soon.
Yep. So, speaking of things that are coming soon, these are the video games that are coming out this week. Oh, that's it for the news, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. That's it for the news, everybody.
Good night.
Good night. Here's all the games that are coming out this week. So, first of all, on the Switch, we have Darksiders War Mastered Edition. On the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, we have Far Lone Sails. On the PS4 and the Xbox One, we have Borderlands, the original Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. And on the PC and the Switch, we have Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. We're kind of in that lull still a little bit. I know there's still also obviously a ton of indie games and digital-only games that are coming out, but these are kind of the main releases that come out this week. Yeah. Anything interesting to you?
You know, I own Darksiders like on PS3 and PS4. I kind of want to get it again because I do enjoy the game. It's a cool game.
It's a great game.
But I probably won't. And then I don't know what Fire Lone Sales. That sounds familiar, but I really don't know. I feel like I heard about it and then I forgot about it. So it sounds familiar though. What is that? Do you know anything about that game?
I'm not familiar with it at all. So yeah, I came prepared.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we're real good game journalists here, aren't we? We're like, what is this game? This thing, these things that people call video games. What is that?
Yeah.
What
Borderlands.
About you?
Borderlands. Well, I'm getting the crew together.
Yeah. Same crew that plays Fallout 76 with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
The only one that actually kind of had my interest was Super Dragon Ball Heroes because I am a Dragon Ball fan. It's a card game, but
really?
Yeah, it's a card. But I'd have to see some more on it because they announced it only a couple months ago, and it just I don't know. It seems it just doesn't seem like it's going to be very well done.
Oh, yeah. I think actually that kind of interests me if it's a card game, but I thought it was just going to be like another like fight 'em up or beat 'em up game, and I was like, I don't need to get that. So. But yeah, card game. But I don't know anything. I'm not really. I know I should turn in my nerd card, but I'm not a Dragon Ball fan at all. I don't know anything about Dragon Ball really.
Well, it's basically they power up for like 6 episodes and then fight for 2.
Okay,
that's how the show goes. Yeah,
and then yeah. I know like one of them dies and then gets yellow hair and they have halos on. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me either. So
you're on the right track.
Okay.
I'll give you get a B+ for effort on that.
Thanks. And there's a guy named Goku. That's all I know.
You're absolutely right.
And one has a tail, but then he lost his tail. I think, right?
Yeah.
So,
that's very good. Yeah. There's. All right, I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of Dragon Ball after the show.
Okay. All right, cool.
So yeah, so those are all the games coming out this week. So normally we at this point we do our retrospective, but we're gonna keep things kind of short this week due to the everything that's going on. Plus, also it's Sherry's turn to do the retrospective, and there
She's
ain't
not
no
here.
way I'm gonna let her get away with not doing one.
She's out here, so
Yeah, so nice try, girl. So we're just gonna go straight into we're gonna go straight into what we played. So Roger, what you been playing lately?
Oh boy. So Mike, I've been playing some Evil Land. And
Oh, you got Evil Land. Oh, nice.
yeah. So I actually bought it when we got the review code. I actually bought a copy myself because it sounded like a cool game and I wanted to play it, so I bought it. And then it sat there and I didn't play it for a long time. And I started with Evil Land 2, or 1, I'm sorry, but I didn't. I mean, it was cool. I liked the idea of the history behind it, but I didn't really get into it. And then I started playing number 2, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this game's good. This game is really good. It's really good. I really like it a lot. So I've been playing that. I've been playing a lot of that. I picked up Shovel Knight Treasure Trove as well. I had the first Shovel Knight game, I guess, because they're all the same game but just different DLCs, right?
Yep.
So I have it on the 3DS, but I played a little bit of it, but I never really got into it. But I'm really enjoying it on the Switch. I like how it plays. So I've been playing that quite a bit as well. And what other games? I've been playing Neo Atlas 1496. 1469. Sorry, 1469.
What's that?
So that is it's an explorer. It's like like the best way I can describe it. It's kind of like Civilization, but you have ships and you are sailing across. You're plotting. You're making the world. Like you are out of Portugal and you are a trading company. And the king has commissioned you to create a trade route to the land of gold, which I think is supposed to be in China somewhere. And you have the option, and all you know is the area around Portugal, like or of Europe. And that's all you know. So you send out your admirals to kind of like navigate and find new areas. And when they come back, they tell you, well, this is what we found, and you can either approve and saying, yep, that sounds right, like I agree with what you're charting, or you can say, no, I don't agree with that, and you can disapprove of their findings. But the world may look not the same as what we know the world to be, depending on what your admirals are finding and how they're basically plotting the land.
Huh.
So it's really interesting. So I'm enjoying that. So that game, you have fleets of ship that you send out to explore, but then you also set up trade routes with different things, and you create new products that you find. So like I've created gunpowder already, so I've been selling that, and I've created wine, and I created like pearls and pearl rings and stuff like that. Just because I found rings and pearls, and I created pearl rings, I've been trading those. It's a cool concept of a game. So I've been enjoying that game, and then. The last one I'll just mention here is I've been playing Mark of the Ninja. Have you played this game at all, Mike?
I have not.
So it was I think it's an Xbox Arcade Classic game. I think is that what they called those games? Arcade Live. And then it was remade for the Switch, and it's really good. It's really good.
What does it play like?
It plays... have you ever played? Oh gosh, I can't think of this name now for this game. It's a stealth fighter game kind of where it's a side scroller, and you go into different areas and you're attacking like a base, for instance, and there'll be guards walking around. You can't be caught by guards, and you can hide into shadows. You can hide behind different things. You can crawl on walls. You can take out lights. This is my favorite part. So you can take out lights, right? So like these lamp posts or whatever there, and you take them out with your darts and the guards. And so it's all, I mean, it's cool. There's voice acting, voiceovers and stuff like that. And the guards are like, huh? Who turned off the lights? Oh, it's probably nothing. And then they just keep going. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's cool. But you can go through like different vents, like air vents, to go into different areas and stuff. It's a cool game. It's yeah, so I mean, it's my ninja game right now that I'm playing. So
that's
not
cool.
Sekiro.
Right. Oh yeah. I'm staying away from that.
Yeah, me too.
Almost kind of sounds like Shadow Complex.
I don't know if I played that game, but
That was one of the first Xbox Live Arcade games.
oh, really?
And it was like a Metroidvania. I think they re-released it on the Xbox One, but I think they also released it somewhere else. Maybe on the PS4. If you have a chance, if you like a good Metroidvania type game, that's a really good game. I really enjoyed playing that one.
I'll have to look at that one up. So
good.
What about you?
So I've been getting a lot of gaming time in.
Yeah.
Part of my vacation to the Grand Canyon is being on the train for a day and a half.
And Octopath Traveler, have you been playing that?
I have been playing lots of Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I have. Yeah, I'm so far in the game. I'm almost done with Chapter 1 for everybody.
Yay.
That's how long this game is.
Yeah, and then you'll sit there and grind before you can go on to Chapter 2. So
yep.
Have fun.
Yeah. But I am having fun, though. That's the thing. I'm really enjoying these characters' stories. I'm getting so, like, emotionally invested in their stories. Like,
so who's your favorite so far? Is it still Primrose?
Everybody always says Primrose, but I also like Elfin.
Oh, really?
Elfin. Well, yeah, because I like his apothecary job description, where it's like his job in life is to go make other people's lives better and to help other people. Yeah. It's the quantum leap of Octopath Traveler. It is. If we want to throw back another 1990s reference.
Yeah. No, I can. Yeah, I don't. I see. It's funny because I think he's my least favorite character, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
So far, my least is Therion, the thief.
Oh, really?
I get. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. So, I mean, it's I don't know, I've had him on my team for a long time, and I get really annoyed. He's just he's kind of a jerk during battles.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't know why. It's so weird, like something so small, but I don't know. I who's the other guy? Cyrus. That guy's just stupid.
Wait, who's Cyrus? Cyrus is he the soldier?
Is the scholar.
Oh, the scholar. Why are you talking about? That guy's awesome. He's like the coolest. He's like the most powerful character in that game. Mike, I'm telling you, level him. I know he's an idiot with that girl. Yes, 100%.
Yeah, she's like, oh, hey, how's it going? Like,
she's like throwing herself at him, and he's just like,
and he's like, duh, okay.
Yeah, no, okay. He's an idiot when it comes to girls, but I'm telling you, like when it comes to magic and stuff like that, holy cow, that guy is so. Once you get him leveled up, I mean, he can save you in many battles. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Him and Primrose are like my two like go-to people that like do the most damage. And then I have the healer on there because then she'll like heal us and whatever. And then who do I? Oh, and then I usually play with the thief. I think actually. But he's cool because if you have the thief on your team, this is one thing I'm going to suggest you doing, Mike. Steal everything you can, and if you get caught, just start over. Log out, log back in from your last save, and then try stealing it again. There's no punishment for doing it, and you can get some pretty cool stuff from doing that. So,
cool.
I've gotten some really cool weapons and really cool armor from doing that.
All right.
It's cheating, but it's cool.
It's like Animal Crossing, like setting your clock.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
It was. What was the? I forgot what I was gonna say. I've got. Oh, you know what? I like having Cyrus on my team because one of my abilities with Cyrus is when a battle starts, he'll study the foes and automatically tell you one of their weaknesses.
Yeah, that is cool. Isn't that cool?
And that's a big help. So
that is a big help.
I've also got Tressa on my team, and I kind of like Tressa just because she's so spunky.
Yeah, she's pretty cool, and she gets you a lot of coins too. She's the merchant, right? So
yep, she's the merchant. Yeah.
Yeah, so she'll get you a lot of coins, but I haven't played much with her. The hard part is with this game though is like, when you make it past the first chapter, you'll start having like a groove of like a team that you want to work with, and then you're like, but if I'm going to go to the second chapter, I had to start leveling up all the other characters, and then you have to like kind of switch out your characters, and that's where the grind happens.
Yeah.
So,
But that's I'm enjoying it so far. So
cool.
we'll see if I get burned out on it. So I've been playing lots of that. I've been playing some new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe.
Nice.
It's not blowing me away. It's new Super Mario Brothers. I got it on sale.
Oh, yeah.
You can live without it if you've played any of the other new Super Mario Brothers games. What else? Playing some Namco Museum. Been working on my Pac-Man and Dig Dug high scores.
Nice.
I also put on my team at work. I put up a Pac-Man, one of those plug and play Pac-Mans.
Yeah.
Into one of our monitors in my on our team. So we've got like a high score system going right now on our team. So like on lunch breaks and stuff. So I've been playing a lot of Pac-Man. I've been playing Celeste.
Oh, isn't that good?
That is good. It's really good.
It's really hard.
It's really hard. It's very frustrating.
Yeah.
And there ain't no way I'm going to try to collect all those strawberries.
Yeah, I know. I gave up on the strawberries.
Yeah. What else? And of course, been playing some Red Dead Redemption 2.
On the train?
No, not on the train.
I know.
No, this is before.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I brought the whole setup. I had to get out. I had to buy a whole other ticket just to put my setup next to me on the train.
And how many people with you? 4 with the PlayStation 4. That is.
Yes. And then finally, I've been playing a game called Metagal.
Oh, that sounds familiar. What's that game about?
It just came out last week. It's on the Switch.
Okay.
And it's another one of those, and I'm gonna butcher the name, Ratalaika Games. Ratalaika Games.
Yeah.
Games. And it's basically it's a Mega Man clone, but instead of all male characters, it's all female characters.
Oh.
And it's basically that's exactly what it is. It plays just like Mega Man. The game is really cheap. I got it for $3.99.
Wow.
And I think it's normally $4.99, but like it's like that 20% off or whatever if you buy it within the first week or something like that.
Yeah.
That game's not too bad. I mean, it's definitely a $3.99 game. It plays like Mega Man. There's a lot of stuff that like kind of like makes me scratch my head. Like there's sound effects that don't happen when they should. Like something will blow up and I won't hear anything. There's some cheap deaths in it. Like it got to the point where it was where I was actually getting frustrated. And I like Mega Man. Like Mega Man, like all right, you fall into a pit or something, and then you learn from it and you get a little better. This is just like I had to get like the luck of the draw on this, or like I had to take a hit in order to move forward. When you defeat the robot bosses or whatever, you get their powers, but then after you beat that level and you get their powers, it doesn't tell you what that power is or what it does.
What? That's weird.
It's just like, all right, you can choose the next one. So but having said that, the controls are tight. There's boss battles and mini bosses, and those are fun to figure out their patterns and what their weaknesses are, things like that. So it's not too bad. I think I'm about halfway done with it right now. So
nice.
I hope to finish it on the ride home.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think that's just about everything I played. So
nice.
All right. Well, anything else you would like to add, or
no? That's
all right.
That's what I have.
Cool. All right. Well, that just about does it for this short episode of the Controller Throwers podcast. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. We appreciate it. Be sure to check us out on the social medias. You can find us at Facebook. We're at facebook.com/TCThrowers. You can also find us on Twitch, twitch.tv/TCThrowers. You can also find us on iTunes, Google Play, and right here at GamerHeadsPodcast.com. Roger, if you could let everybody know all about the wonders that is GamerHeads Podcast.
So you can find GamerHeads on Twitter at GamerHeadsPC. You can find us on the internet. We have a website where actually both Mike and I review games, and we have other reviewers as well in articles, and you can actually find new episodes of both of our shows on our website as well, and that's GamerHeadsPodcast.com. You can go to Facebook.com/GamerHeadsPodcast. And you can also send us emails at info@GamerHeadsPodcast as well. You can also go to iTunes and leave us reviews of both Mike and I's show as well. We'd love to hear what you have to say about our shows.
Indeed. All right, sounds good. Well, Roger, thank you so much for joining me on such short notice. I really, truly appreciate it. Otherwise, I would be sitting by myself, talking to myself.
And sometimes those are the best conversations. But thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And let's see. So yeah, until next week, everybody, have some fun, play some games. We'll see you all next time. Good night, everybody.